can you make them based on a ranking criteria so that, you know, if you've got, you know, 5 categories rated 1 to 5 and it comes up with a 3.5 and you can rank somehow, do it that way?
I would say you can. Back on the account form here, we actually have pretty good, the opportunity to put some pretty good data on it. Come on. Anyhow, all the fields that we have on the contact form. Let's switch back to the web client. All of these fields that we have here, including annual revenue, number of contacts, things like that, could be used, I'm certain, to create a custom ranking function. The one gentleman, I'm sorry, Paul, you had mentioned code behind. That's a phrase a lot of us technical people use, but any given screen you see, especially a web screen, has code behind the form, we call that. And that's the programming that makes things happen. Do you ever get JavaScript errors when you're on the web? That's code behind the form in the wrong browser version. We get them all the time.
Are these fields customizable when you create it?
Yes, they are. Yes.
So are there people that you can hire? I just know my team, and I know that a lot of them, exploring something like this would not, they need someone to teach.
To lead them.
Right, I mean, like,
Gotcha.
I'm a person that could go and explore this and figure it out, but we have people on our team that would be too overwhelming.
Understood. Well, the first thing I would, yes. There are people, and this is a service that Simplex is going to be providing very shortly once we're done with our conversion.
Which is training.
Yes. And the thing is, what I would suggest you do in that case, though, is take a good hard look at the features that you don't want to use.
Right.
And rule them right out.
And just train on the specific things you want them to be using.
Yes. And then through the customization, see if we could turn those features
Right.
off.
So that was my next question is, can we have it so that certain people don't even see all this stuff?
I'm not entirely sure of that, but it makes sense with the expensiveness of the security model.
Okay.
But I don't know if we could turn off one of the primary tabs.
Right.
You know.
But the less they see that they don't need to use, the better.
Well, the one thing is, we could have
Because it's confusing.
their security could be restricted so that if we can't get rid of this node over here, that nothing displays because they're not the owner of the record and nothing's been allocated to them. You know what I mean? So there's different ways to do it. And in the end, this is the hard part because, you know, here's a tool that end users can customize on their own, but invariably, there's always a little bit of programming. You know, usually not that bad though. Okay. I would also suggest that you use formal project management. And I would suggest that you manage it right here in Dynamics. Formal project management is really nothing more than setting expectations. I can't tell you the number of times I've worked with customers in large companies. This is my prior life before meeting Bob. Very large companies that got sent out en masse to training on Microsoft Access. And then they come back and the boss is all happy because they're trained now. And then they don't use it. You know, because they got work to do. They don't have time to do Access. And then 2 weeks go by and they kind of remember, they'll ask me a question. 60 days go by and all the skills have just oozed out of everyone's head. No doubt about it. That was a complete waste of money by the boss because he didn't do one thing. He did not expect them to use it upon return. He should have done this 30 minutes a day. He should have been going desk to desk. Show me how to do this. But of course, he, you know, didn't understand the need to do that. And a lot of people don't. There is no nirvana in training. There really isn't. And I actually have this viewpoint too. No one can really train you either. They can help you learn. And then we got to keep it going ourselves. So I would do that as well. Oh, and then definitely roll it out on a staged schedule. For example, we've really only looked at 2 little pieces of this. All right? Activities and accounts and contacts. That's what I suggest you try to master initially. The functionality that you use in Outlook right now, that's different in CRM. All right, I did a demonstration of Dynamic CRM for a financial services firm downtown a month ago, and they were all gung-ho on doing it, except it's for the sales department. And these guys make big commissions. They sell expensive things. All right, so they want to be on the phone all day. They don't have time for Outlook. They don't have time for the tracking application, whatever. Their boss wants to know if they called XYZ company. Brings us in, do the presentation. The salespeople don't want to be managed. They don't. They don't want you seeing my account. They don't want you calling my account. Well, that can all be addressed with security, but they can't see it that way. They just see it as it's different than what we do right now. Right now, I have my contacts, and you're not getting near them. If I put them in the database, well, geez, if it's like anything else in IT, before I know it, I'll lose control of it. Needless to say, it wasn't a very good session we had, except that it spurred the thinking that they need to start doing, which is really why I think that this is worthy of 5 or 10 minutes to discuss. The technology can be mastered. There's nothing there that we can't do, especially if you're business owners. It's the human aspect that we have to deal with. Not always a direct lineup. So what I would suggest would be the very next step for anyone is to come here to the Dynamics website. And the URL is crm.dynamics.com. And click on this link right here. Once it comes up. Anyhow, it's the free 30-day trial. Okay, while that's going, I'm going to hop over to the other side. My CRM link is not here. Okay. Okay. Anyhow, here. They'll give you a 30-day free trial, and last month it was without a credit card. Good, it still is. Okay, you truly do not need to install anything. It's just going to be through your web browser right here. And the thing is, nothing like hands-on to do it. Yes, there's a chance that any contacts that you put in there, you won't be able to get back out if you don't continue it. But to me, I think that that's an acceptable loss. Just pick one of your clients and prototype them and say that I'm going to use this new system to interact with you for this month. And they might even be willing to do it too. But this is a very nice offer from Microsoft, and they typically don't go this way. This year I see it being a lot different. But the experience that you get just from doing it live is going to teach you more than any training video ever will.
Question about the reporting functionality of it. Is it good, bad, indifferent?
It is phenomenal. It can report on everything. Do you know what Ssrs is? Okay, has anyone heard of reporting services? Okay, you guys, I'm sorry, that's cheating. Okay, reporting services is something that's, it's the report environment that you get with Microsoft SQL Server. We all go through all this effort to get data into a database. Eventually we want to get it back out. We need a report writer. Anyone heard of Crystal? Crystal Reports. That's a big one. MS Access does it too. Ssrs is the free report writer that comes with Dynamics. I'm sorry, I said that wrong, Terry. Ssrs is SQL Server Reporting Services. It's the free report writer that comes with SQL Server. It is built into Dynamics.
Is that something that a layman like myself can create reports, or do I need to bother Brian that's in the IT team with it?
No, the idea is that you can. They give you the report wizard, which is going to let you do a report that can go a certain level deep and do it. So if what you're looking for is what we call flat lists, you're going to be able to do it. If what you want is hierarchical data, you know, like parent-child relationship data, then you would probably need to ask Brian for some help. Anything else on anyone's mind?
I know you didn't go into the marketing aspect of things, but in your understanding of the tool so far, is it relatively simple to maintain standard marketing plans and campaigns? So for example, if you get 1,000 leads a month and you want to send a series of follow-ups to those 1,000 people, well, every month you have a section of people that are at a different state of receiving follow-ups
Yes.
from you. Is this tool capable of tracking whether or not you exported this list and sent a follow-up to them?
Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely. It'll let you have multiple, in fact, one of the big links that's out there is marketing campaigns. But it'll let you have multiple marketing campaigns in process at the same time. It knows who is included in the list. You can schedule people for follow-up based on an arbitrary a set time frame afterwards. So no, it's very good for them.
And one more question with the accounts. Can you store scanned documents or even just Word docs in with an account?
Yes, you can. You can upload files and attach them to contacts and accounts.
Great.
Yeah.
Attach an activity as well.
Not to an activity record as far as I know.
That was one of my questions. We use Salesforce.com, and I'm starting to use it more and more as my email client. And when I attach a document to my email, it stores the document as an attachment, and I can access it through the activity, through the account, or through the contact.
Through the activity. I'm not certain, but I can find out and let you know if you would want to leave me your email address when we're done. Any others? Yes.
The cost again. If we use the cloud, it's $40 per individual.
Yes.
If we sell it on our own server, what is?
It's roughly $5,000 and then between 100 and 1,000 per user. Most users would go for 100, but if you want the ability to do everything, that requires basically a developer license, and that's the $1,000. So I would suggest you need one, or you just ask someone like Bob, hey Bob, will you make this form for me?
And of course, Simplex-IT would set up all the links to the databases and the reporting aspects. Okay.
Sure.
One more. You mentioned that we can get a tack on for the Outlook.
Yes.
What is the cost for that?
Free.
Almost free.
Oh yeah, yeah, they definitely want you to use this. Yeah. So in fact, here on the Dynamics,
It's $40 if you use the cloud, but if you tack that to the
I'm sorry, okay, yeah. A couple different topics there, I'm not speaking clearly. Okay, you need to have an account to use your email, you need to have an account for Dynamics. Once you have your account for Dynamics, you can get this plugin that you put into Outlook that allows you to do your CRM from Outlook. But you still have to have your email account that you're paying for each month too. So really what we are is we're taking the next step towards each client in a company costing roughly $200 per month. Now Office 365 I think is $6 a month. It's a very low number. But think about that. Think if you lease all of your software, which is definitely what people want. All right, let's just say that we have a computer with Windows on it. So maybe we're leasing that from Dell for $35. Then we're going to lease Office for $6. Then we need an email account per user. That varies anywhere from $5 an account to very limited functionality to, let's say, $20 a month. Then we're going to add Dynamics to it, so there's 40. Then any licensing for line of business application. My CPA has a lot of forms and research applications. They usually pay annually, but when you add it up by the month, what we're doing is we're taking more and more steps to recurring revenue for the software providers. Was that clear? Okay. What do you guys see as not being appealing about Dynamics and the way Microsoft's positioning it? Any gut feelings, especially from Salesforce perspective?
Actually, it's quite functional, and I'm sure that it does much of what Salesforce does, which does 1,000 times more than an organization like mine would ever need it to do. My issue with all of this is becoming everything is internet based.
Yes.
And there are times when the internet goes down.
I
We
agree.
all sit around and go, now what?
I agree. The good thing about this is over here with our Outlook client, we have a Synchronize button.
So you could temporarily work offline then and have access to your information, and then when you're back online again,
Yes.
you're back.
Yes. Here within the Outlook client, that's what this button is meant to do. So that you can take your data and go offline with it. The thing is, what I see when I see a button like that is, thank you. Should I press it every night before I go home? You know, when do you know you're going to lose access to the web? You can't really tell.
I use Salesforce and Outlook, and you can actually set it up in Outlook that it does it periodically, or you have a manual sync to Salesforce.
Okay, very good. Oh, the other thing is when I talked to Microsoft about this product, let's say you're not certain if you want it on-site or hosted. And they actually said some of their clients, you know, most of them are big companies when they talk this way. This division wants it hosted, meaning in the cloud. This one wants it on-premise because they don't trust anyone. What about when they change their mind? Is there a way to synchronize what's on the cloud, not with your Outlook, but with your on-premise version of it? And he said, yes, they're putting a tool out that will seamlessly do it right. I don't know about the seamless, but the fact that they're making a tool to do it, I think is powerful.